pregnant by
some
him.
flight company.
A month after being with him. I'm birth control, so I don't do birth control.
On any given night, there are over 600,000 homeless people in the U.S., according to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Most people are either spending the night in homeless shelters or in some sort of short-term transitional housing. Slightly more than a third are living in cars, under bridges, or in some other way living unsheltered.
My background is Native American Indian. I like to just fetch for my food and not to get high or smoke some cigarettes and hang out. Oh, like you seen everybody that had everything on their sides over there, put to the side of the street because the city comes by and cleans to morally. I have a lot of stuff. I have a big truck's worth of stuff. I could fill up a whole van, dude. I got umbrellas, I got sleeping bags, I got blankets, I got my bike, my scooter, all my clothes, backpacks. There is some fears in the life of nature. You know, homelessness, you can be unaroused or unaware sometimes that someone can maybe, or at some time, you can be victimized or accident yourself.
I had an electrical engineering background. Then I got hit by a car and knocked into a coma. So I came out of it with some kind of weird gift. So I make paper sculptures now. I was a part of a raver group too, you know, and like called Moon Tribe, and I used to do laser light shows, right, for this raver group, and we flew in some DJs from Japan, and I think we parked at the wrong place somewhere in Hollywood where these gangbangers were trying to rob them, and I came out the side with a bunch of burgers. Next thing you know, I'm fighting in the middle of the street.
Pretty much I met this dude on Facebook, got pregnant by him a month after being with him. I'm birth control, so I don't do birth control. Had him at 19, raised him for the 4 years that he was alive. Well, actually 2.5, 3 years, because he went to foster care after a domestic I was in. His dad got custody for a short period of time. He ended up dying in his dad's care from a seizure, which is horrible because I have seizures myself, so I'm scared of seizures. He was a good kid. Everybody loved him. Happy child. I just live day by day, so I'm protected out here, so no one messes with me. So I ain't scared of nothing.
Domestic violence is a leading cause of homelessness in women. More than 90% of homeless women are victims of severe physical or sexual abuse, and escaping that abuse is a leading cause of their homelessness.
Wake up, if none of the shelters or things ain't open, I go in the bathrooms, I shower, run him for the day, go get breakfast. There's like, just pretty much chill. All we do is skateboard, so the little time that he gets, he sleeps, but he's not really much sleep half the time. I go to mental health, counseling, therapy. I see a case manager about getting into a program. But now that my dog is serviced, I could get into a program now. So I'm working on getting an apartment, but like I said, I don't like confined spots. I get people looking at me all weird all day, but it doesn't bother me because they don't know what struggle I've been through.
I'm from the Midwest originally. I grew up in Illinois. Right after high school, my parents moved out to Washington State, and after I finished high school, I lived with them for a little bit. I was in the multimedia and stuff like that in college. I pretty much just worked retail and stuff. I never really got hired doing anything for art, but I quit working retail about 2 years ago. I've been homeless on the West Coast for the last 2 years. I kind of ran out of money. I couldn't really get a better job than retail, so I figured I could almost eat better and live better just like out on the streets, out in the open kind of. I could eat better and I have friends and stuff like that. So.
Electrician by trade, a repairman. My dreams are too many, but to be is to be a star.
I had 5 guys working for me. I had 2 vans on the road. I'm an electrician by trade. I'm a Sparky, just like this gentleman. We're Sparky. This is a true story. And I can wire this building right here. Him and I could wire this whole place. This is a true story. We're not stupid. We're pretty intelligent. My son's back in Chicago. My daughter's in Tennessee, which I don't even know. That was a kind of a mishap type thing. My son was planned. I went to Escondido to bury my brother. He died from Agent Orange for Vietnam. And I came back here all the way on a train, jumping a train 3 times across the whole United States. Jumping a train. Not Amtrak. I'm talking about, yeah. I'm talking about jumping a train. You talk about brutal. It's not funny. This was brutal. I'm not scared of anything, really. The next day, I'm kind of scared of, but I survived. And I got good friends. I have good friends around here, which is a beautiful thing.
I'm from St. Thomas. My background is I come from a upper class Jewish black family, Flush Yard. College, school, education, did, travel, got into drugs and a street kind of experience, and got sucked enough into the party culture and world where it kind of led me here for my family and friends and things that was important. I come to California, my people, my family migrated to San Francisco to back south to California, and then started their own business, turned into the largest preschool, day school ever, and done for black people of color. And my mom met this African from San Francisco, and so it's been here, You know what? The recording, producing, and engineering is what I want to do, right? But my aspiration is to start a business for a non-profit, for the healthy youth at risk. There's so many young people out here that are homeless, on the streets, doing drugs, partying, having sex, and tripping out and doing whatever they need to do to survive. So, it's healthy youth. Man, I'm waiting on now my major lump sum of money. To me, money has been my issue, where I overspend, overuse, bankruptcy. You know what, man? I prefer living outside on the beach instead of living in a shelter that's stinking and people are closed and breathing stinking this air, nasty. No, I'd rather be free. Last time I did Black was about a couple of days ago. I kind of keep myself healthy and without I'm healthy. I think our government is politically corrupt. I think that we've lost our identity and spirituality, and I think that our country has opened its borders and doors to people that want to hurt and destroy this country. And I think that we need more honest people that will be in the political system to do the right thing for the people, but since it's so evil and corrupt, it's leading it to a destruction place where we're coming with a new world order. I believe that our new world order is offering nothing but chaos and a place where you can't eat by a cell unless you have a chip or a mark. You can't do the right thing that gives you the freedom that you once had, and the spirituality has become more evil and less loving for humanity. So I think our system is Babylon. I think our system is culturally corrupt. It's disgusting out here. It's disgusting because, how can people that built this country still go through the negative experience of where you're not accepted or allowed, and we weren't allowed to, immigrants that come over here, we fought in the American wars, we did everything, but didn't actually even built this country. And yeah, racism is disgusting out here. It's even gotten worse because of Obama. I don't know why.
I'm a college student. Came here to California after being in the Midwest for a while. I'm trying to pursue a career in law as a criminal defense attorney, and just kind of riding out the rest of my education, trying to get into law school somewhere. But I'm living out here in this community out here. I don't know. I think it's easy for people to try and lump everybody into one homeless population. There really is no such thing as a homeless population. There are a lot of different people that come in and out. It's kind of like a stream of humanity that kind of meets when they reach the end of the line or on their travels through life. Kind of everything dumps into here in Venice. I don't have too many dreams left. I'm just trying to provide some sort of utility to the overall population. I'd prefer to work with poorer people. I think the American government is focused on nation building around the world, and they need to focus on building this nation as much as they like to focus on securing energy reserves and securing strategic interests around the world. They can't let everything fall to shit here while other economies prosper and beat us out of our own economy. We have to remain economically and competitively strong in this country, and educational standards are terrible in this country.
I was born in Nevada and I came to California, and I basically lived in Ventura, Fort Bragg, up in by Humboldt County, and Santa Monica and Venice for 21 years. I just went and saw a clinical nurse not too long ago because I had a miscarriage, and I have to go get a D&C. I haven't been cleaned out yet, so I get real ill. You know, I'm 52, and I kind of see that you have to have it kind of pretty pinpoint to what's the most important to you before you have a relationship. Well, I haven't really been living in the streets. It's not that I am, and it's not that I'm not. Is that I told on this officer twice, so he towed my RV. But for the last 21 years, since they took my children away, I've been off and on in the streets, like in Venice, you know. The reason why I came back here is because, one, I love working out here. I like the charismatic. I get city sick, and so having multiple people around me is good because the artists and how it's fun, and you know. Otherwise, I want to go back to Wildwood on Highway 33, or the skunks, my pet, you know. Yeah, but otherwise, I love it down here because when they took my children, I got very depressed, and I didn't like to be insulted in the same town, you know. And so I left, and I came to Venice, and I became a model, and I just waited it out. It's not that I do use drugs, and it's not that I don't use drugs. It is the point that I use medication, and that all drugs are legal, so now all you have to do is set up what you do need. You don't want to say, oh, did you use drugs? Oh, well, that's why they're homeless.
1 in 5 homeless people suffer from untreated severe mental illness. While about 6% of the general population suffers from severe mental illness, 20 to 25% of the homeless suffer from severe mental illness, according to government studies.
A lot of cocaine and drugs, and that's what screwed it all up, and a lot of alcohol.
I smoke pot every now and again. I've tried other drugs, but I'm not really into any heavy. I drink from time to time, but usually I'm just here for enjoying the sights and talking to people and stuff like that.
I went to prison for selling meth to an undercover cop. So I got charged with the felony drug sale.
No, I just smoke weed.
I mean, for me, for my kind of money, it's cocaine. I mean, there's nothing that can even touch what you would need for that. I mean, everything else is bullshit. You know, for somebody that, for me, for my background, you know, it's living like this to now, you know, at Hollywood have your ass prostituting your body for drugs, to be in the environment and in the experience, or to have you in the experience doing whatever you need to do to work for the industry. It's either make or break there. The in-between would be you're a student. You're going to school.
I'm an alcoholic. I used to have a really good job and a really nice house in a really nice neighborhood with a really pretty girlfriend. And then I lost my job and my girlfriend left, and then I couldn't afford to pay rent no more. And this all happened in like a span of 90 days. And I started drinking.
The only thing I'll do is weed every once in a blue, but I won't do much.
That's how I make money. I tell jokes and spare change. Sometimes I just blurt out, "But somebody please spare $1 million so I can get a mansion and a yacht and OD in style."
road, people think it's a joke. This is not a joke, this is reality. I've been homeless. I got a case. I'm fighting for my life. This morning they burnt my tent and I bought another tent. They burnt my tent, but I bought another tent. You see my shoes? It's called Wawa. Which way am I gonna go? Only he knows. And people don't believe in that. I've been here 45 years, I was born here. Uncle Victor got shot up in the store. Uncle Joe is called San Julian. He got killed there. And my mama died having my twin brother. I don't have no family. My family is here. This is my home. I go through trash cans, get the recycles. I hustle. What the stores don't want, I get. What the stores throw, I get. I want to have a family. I want somebody to love me. I'm not, I'll see that until I get back.
I go to college for being a teacher for little kids.
1/4 of homeless people are children, as HUD reports that on any given night, over 138,000 of the homeless in the U.S. are children under the age of 18. The National Center for Homeless Education reported in September of 2014 that local school districts estimate there are over 1 million homeless children in public schools.
I have a total of 13 kids and 4 grandkids. My son, 16, he was felony, and now he's doing a straight B's. And my 10-year-old, my 11-year-old straight A's. My 9-year-old, she's getting up there, like she average. I probably won't get her higher. My daughter's 24, going to college. I'm from a family of 10 of us. And my mother made us go to school every day. Practice tennis. I was home for 2 weeks. I found my own house. I drove from 6 o'clock in the morning to midnight to get out and find my house.
My name is Jadabi. They call me Tracy for short. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Most of my people are, they're from Paris, France, and they speak patois. They speak French. On YouTube, I have a song. It's called Someday. Someday is in the motion picture Jackson as well. I sing it live in the movie. I wrote this song. It's under DRM and EMC Records. Someday says a lot about itself. It says what it is. It's scripture. It's basically saying Jesus will come around and take us away someday. The song goes like this. Jesus, oh Jesus, died on that Calvary. I sing and I also feed the homeless as well. I have a nonprofit that I'm starting. I had a nonprofit before with DRM and EMC Records. I have 4 major videos that's out now on YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram. I used to live in the river. I used to live in the LA River. Well, the government has its good sides and it has its bad sides. But most of all, people of downtown LA are paying for their mistakes that they did 10 years ago. It's too much red tape. As many as buildings are that they're making for RSO, which is a good thing, and they're making the waiting list shorter. It's a lot of people just, they're paying for old mistakes, and it shouldn't be like that.
from Arizona originally. I had a job, a place, everything, but then I lost my job and I couldn't keep up with the rent. It's expensive here, and I was just renting a room out of a place. And then my ID got stolen, but I just replaced that like 2 days ago, so I should be on track to get a job. But me and my boyfriend are saving up money to leave to Vegas, so he's just on the other corner with our dog.
My name's Reno. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. I'm 26. We grew up kind of middle class. Sometimes it was hard. We ate at food banks and food lines and stuff like that. But for the most part, I always had what I needed. I talked to my mom and my sister. My dad's passed away, my brother passed away. My mom and my sister are both in Arizona. I have 6 kids, 4 boys and 2 girls. Originally, me and my lady were heading to Colorado for a job. We stopped off in Las Vegas to see my grandparents I hadn't seen since I was like 4. And the people that we were with ditched us in Vegas. And my grandpa gave me $300 so we could get on a Greyhound. And with the money I had the decision of Denver, Colorado, or Los Angeles, California. And I chose LA because I just spent a whole day in Las Vegas, so LA sounded good. I wanted to go to the beach. I do tattoos, I sing.
I just want a stable life and to be able to have a job and a place. I just want a normal life. Like a lot of people want to be rich and have cars and all that. I just want to be a housewife. I have a son, he's with my mom right now, he's 2. So once I get a place, I'm gonna get him back. Well, my mom left me and my dad when I was 3, and like it's a long story, but I just met her again like for the first time in 9 years anyways. And my dad was a drug addict. He died when I was 12. I've been in and out of foster homes, group homes. My grandma adopted me, but then put me back in a group home. If you're in Hollywood, like a lot of people use methamphetamines around here, and like they get checks and like they get support, or they're veterans, but they like it on the streets and they blow all their money on that. Like I saved up like $700. Me and my man have $700 in an account. So if I were to do that, oh, it would be all gone. The cops are the worst. The cops here and bid patrol. We were in McDonald's earlier, and we were gonna buy food, and they told me I still had to get on. I'm like, okay, we'll go. And he's like, what? You're giving me an attitude? You want me to take you to jail? But I was like, dude, we were gonna buy food. He's like, don't talk back to me in mouth. I was like, dude, I'm not mouthing off. I'm saying okay. And I told my manager, I said, get out of the line. Come on, let's just go. You don't even buy food here. They treat us like shit all the time, every day, that we can't be in, like us homeless people, we don't want you here. Literally, they tell us to leave.
Cities are increasingly making homelessness a crime. A 2014 survey of 187 cities by the National Law Center on Homelessness and Poverty found 24% make it a citywide crime to beg in public. 33% make it illegal to stand around or loiter any place in the city. 18% make it a crime to sleep anywhere in public. 43% make it illegal to sleep in your car. 53% make it illegal to sit or lay down in particular public places.
Been beat up down on Firestone station on the Blue Line. I got jumped by 8 black guys and 1 white guy. I get discriminated against by the police and by a bid patrol. This morning, me and my lady were walking down the street, and the police officer, just because we were walking down the street, drove up, parked next to us, and told us that we needed to get out of Hollywood or we'd see his face more often. The government could be way better than what it is. We're not spending as much time helping our own people as we are helping other countries. You know, like with the whole issue with the Syrian refugees. They're gonna give them apartments and all that, but we can't even give the homeless secure apartments.
I'm not against helping people. How the fuck are we gonna bring thousands of Syrians over here and house them and help them when we can't even get all of us housed or all of us health care or just people in general? We're all, whether you got a job or not, most people are 1 paycheck away. Like our whole America right now is not stable. I don't get how we're helping all these other people and stuff. Why do I have to go to Skid Row? I don't want to go to Skid Row and then have to stay there for a year to get my Section 8. the red lines here, a lot of like drop-in centers like MFP I'm still allowed to go to, and they're here, and like the center down there on Highland and Lexington is there. There's like a lot of help here. It's just close to a lot of the things I do, that's why, you know, and it's not as dangerous because we're more in public. You know what I mean? Like Skid Row, like cops are not gonna come help you down there. Me and my man went to this like winter armory, which was like a shelter basically, and like the men were always like harassing me sexually. Our stuff was getting stolen. There was fights being broken out, and then we were at the Union Rescue Mission because when we had a place, we had our son, and we were moving from Firestone to Compton, and we had to be in a shelter for 2 days because we couldn't move into the house yet, the bedroom. And like they drug tested us, and like I said, we smoked weed, but I wasn't smoking weed or anything, but my man had a medical card for medical marijuana for his back and for asthma and for depression. And he tested positive for weed, but he showed them the medical card and all that, and they told us that they were kicking all of us out, even though I didn't test positive for any drugs, not even weed or alcohol or anything, but that because we're a family, we have to fall as a family. Union Rescue Mission in Skid Row told me that.
It's stressful. It's a lot going on. It's chaotic. I have to worry about where I'm gonna eat, if I'm gonna eat. I have to worry about how much money I'm making because I'm trying to put away money also to save, you know. I have to make sure my dog eats. I have to worry about if me sitting here is gonna cause such an issue that the cops are gonna be called on me just for sitting here and I'm gonna go to jail.
When you're homeless, it is so expensive to be on the streets. I can't even cook my own food. Like, I'm gonna have to go buy a loaf of bread, turkey, mustard oil. It's gonna rot by the end of the day, you know. It's so much easier to buy. Like, in your house, you get to cook your food and put your food in the fridge, and it doesn't go to waste and it doesn't rot.
My fears are accomplishing things and then losing it. That's what's always happened to me. I get back up on my feet from being on the streets, and then I do really, really good for 6 months to a year, and then I lose everything, and I'm back to square one.
My name is Kevin Cooley from Los Angeles. Man, I feel bad. I feel very bad because, you know, it's cold outside and everything. You know, if I can help, I help, but I can't because I'm also homeless myself. My parents died, just like that. I started using alcohol. I still do use alcohol. I quit the meth I was smoking because it made me too skinny, but now I'm back in good shape. I started praying every day to Yahweh. All peace be to him, you know what I'm saying? And stuff got better to me. I'm a security guard. Yeah. At a restaurant that I don't want to mention because they might see me on the camera, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. My dreams is to get $1 billion so I can help people in my situation. You know what I'm saying?
Help our homeless off their curb!
I've done a lot, you know. I'm an artist currently, you know, and I'm a cook for a homeless meal share program, and then I do stuff like this on my own time, you know. Like, I'm always making songs.
This is our community. I live in a residence in Hollywood, and he lives on the streets, and he's my neighbor. We are a community. I believe that they should put money towards things that matter. Homelessness, people should not be living on the streets, and we shouldn't be just walking by saying, well, that's a shame, and have pity. No, the government should be putting money to build homes for these humans, these wonderful people, and not building more jails.
I think that, you know, we put a lot of time and money and attention, and we get very little in return. I mean, a lot more could be done for, you know, what we're putting in and putting up with and suffering through. You know, I've been to quite a few of the shelters around LA, and I can tell you right now that they're neglected. You know, they need a lot of work, you know, and they need just an overhaul of you know, the people that are running them. You know, the conditions are horrible, filthy. They're infested with disease and bugs, and it's not a healthy place for the homeless to stay right now.
I worked in music. I was friends with a music band from here, and that's how I came here. And then I fell into film, and then I started doing what I do now, which is Unfuck the World. I started it 10 years ago to raise money for charity just by selling t-shirts that say Unfuck the World, and then we started having events, the first one in 2013, which is the annual Unfuck the World Day. And we have events in many other countries, in the Philippines, in Australia, Europe, Canada, and several cities in America. It's all about spreading positive vibrations. There's an issue in Germany as well, but there's many more ways for them to get off the street, much more support, many more shelters, much more social support than here. I mean, here it's out of proportion. It's unacceptable. No nation should have this, especially not a nation that talks about themselves as if they're the first nation in the world. Everybody should have health care. It should be socialized. You know, everybody should have an education, everybody should have a home, everybody should have food in their refrigerators. Everybody who works 40 hours a week should have all that and more. And everybody who doesn't have a work should be able to get support by the state, by the government, by the community, and not be on the street.
The mayor of Los Angeles has been ignoring the problem for over 10 years. He was the councilman in this area, but in Los Angeles there's 35,000 people that sleep on the street every night. My rent went up $400. In 6 months, I'll be fighting the same situation. But Eric Garcetti, the mayor, he was the city councilman in this area. He neglected the area big time. That's why we're marching today.
And we're here marching to raise awareness to help solve homelessness. The city has $100 million. It'd be really nice if they use some of it to create permanent housing for our homeless population. Every Sunday, I volunteer with LA on Cloud 9, and we hit the streets of LA and we pass out food and tents and whatever they need, all donation.
I'm here because I want to support the social and community effort right now to address the homelessness issue. Obama has, set out legislation to allot all the cities to allow the different cities, funds to help address these issues. Los Angeles County has received $100 million of it to start as of 2016, and it's May. So we're like, okay, so where's this money going? There's a lot of different ways to approach healthcare. I think that there are some countries out there that are balancing it pretty well so that people can get the services they need. Homelessness, a big part of that has to do with our healthcare system. People are disenfranchised because they can't afford the assistance that they need. Mental health being a huge part of it. So when it comes to healthcare, I would hope more people would think of it that way. To say it's not just about your pocketbook, it's about the homeless that you walk over. They didn't get that healthcare. They couldn't optimize,
I'm not following the protest just due to the fact that I know what type of person I am.
We follow the protest by being homeless.
I followed the protest just due to the fact that I was a part of Occupy LA. I was a part of the occupation on City Hall. And so it's like, basically with me, I've been homeless, going on, almost 9 years now. So with me, it's like they said, get the homeless off the streets. If we can have more resources, more people to provide for the homeless.
More people that actually do their job and their resources.
Exactly. More people that actually can take their time out and just come together and say, okay, look, this is what we're going to do for you guys. This, and this.
Not pick their favorites.
Maybe the homeless will actually do what they have to do. You see what I mean? In order for them to better themselves, they have to change for themselves. They have to do what they have to do for themselves. They have to make sure that their priorities is the #1 key.
I was in a sober living home because I overdosed on my psych meds. I got really depressed. I lost my way, and
it's time to smoke some weed.
And I met some guy at the sober home, and he brought me out here, and that's just where I parted. I've been out here for 6 years and met him. I just got really depressed. I felt like that I didn't have no support. And I was on the phone with my mom one day, and she said she was disappointed in me, that I'm a disgrace to her, that
it's
I was
okay.
better
We
than
live
this.
on TV, finna smoke a blunt.
Just something the whole opposite way. You know, I think she was thinking that it was going to send me the right way, and it didn't. She sent me the whole opposite way. My mom and my stepdad are in Kentucky. I don't know where my biological father is. My family says you got yourself in it, so get yourself out. Tough love. But I'm doing it, getting through it. Our son that deceased, he got caught pneumonia.
Him and his foster mom.
He was born in the open. I didn't make it to the hospital in time. And paramedics gave birth to him out in the open and set him on the ground because his umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. And he got pneumonia. Trying to save up money, just, do it the old-fashioned way, get a car. It's the first way you gotta go if you wanna do it on your own. Get a car, just save up more money, and then you just take it from there. You just gotta take it step by step. You crawl before you walk, and you walk before you run.
I look at it like this, everything's gotta be done by baby steps. You gotta take step by step. You just can't take big, gigantic steps thinking, okay, I'm gonna wake up this morning and do this, and then thinking you're gonna go to the next phase, because you can't move too fast. If you move too fast, everything gets scattered and everything gets scrambled. And that's when everybody loses concentration and the focus.
If you try to rush magic, your spell's not gonna come out right.
There's a lot of increase. Especially, a lot of them kind of are by the freeway. Like in my neighborhood, they tend to camp out there by the Arroyo Seco, and they often do sweeps. And it's great. Okay, sweep. What does that solve? Nothing. You just push them away. Okay, that's not a solution. Well, to start with, I'm here now. They're also opening up a drop-in center for homeless people in my neighborhood, so I'm going to start volunteering there.
The march is organized to bring attention to the homelessness problem in Los Angeles. It's out of control. I mean, I don't know if there's tent encampments on every corner, a lot more than there has been in the past, and we want something to be done about it now.
The homeless crisis situation in Oklahoma, in this place and location, in LA and all across the country is created. It's created by those who have money, who don't want other people to have money. And then you have people that are ignorant, who do not listen, who do not follow law, who do not obey the laws in the situations they're in. Therefore, they put themselves in situations. And you have people who have crises with domestic violence, etc. Homelessness is a created situation. But this parade right here with all these people on the boulevard is unnecessary simply because it is not effective. All this noise. You have blocked people's work. There are artists on the boulevard that are working here every day to keep from being homeless, and you have trampled into this location and have not even had a concern for the people out here who are here trying to make a living or trying to support any other concept that is of a donation level. I don't understand how you have all these people standing here. There's a law that says you cannot even pander past a certain point on this boulevard, but you guys are here blocking it. You got 12 artists down this way. Not one of them had one dime dropped in their bucket. Not one, but you got all these people out here. How is that effective?
When people are no longer looked at as human beings, as somebody's child, somebody's mother, somebody's father, sister, brother, friend, as a human being, then we as a society have failed. And the reason we're here today is because we need to remind people that we are only as strong as our weakest link. Homelessness is something that can happen to anybody. Many of us are one layoff, one hospitalization, one accident away from being in the same situation as any of the countless, the hundreds of brothers and sisters we see out here. By using the mask, what we're doing is we're eliminating identity. You no longer are going to say it's a white woman, it's a black woman, it's a Asian, she's got blue eyes, she's got brown eyes, she's from America. We're at uniformity, we're just human beings. It's the message that matters, not the face of the person delivering it.
I'm a retired veteran. I was in Desert Storm. I fought in Iraq. I was homeless because I lost contact with my family. And I came here to LA, just to follow the dream like everybody else. But there's a lot of government programs that are not available for every homeless because they're not on SSI. So there's still discrimination here in LA because, you're not an SSI, but I think SSI should be available to every homeless, not just GR. You know how like the Republicans called, the budget because they saw some surfer living on GR money. While he wasn't working, he was surfing, and this affected homeless people. They make this change just for one surfer guy here.
I'm a couple of credits, 17 credits away from my AA in business. And in the meantime, like 6 years ago, my family lost their spot. So in between like homelessness, jobs, and stretching financial aid check, I had to succumb by choice to go back into hustling, selling drugs. And in the meantime, I was living in between like different substantial subsidized housing, the missions, the various transitional housing shelters. A lot of times people get money, funding, and they're abused the homeless. So in my defense, I just decided to be on the streets because people were stealing. To make the long story short, my parents, they're not getting no younger. I had to help them stay in hotels, trying to make $300 a day so I could pay for an $80 room and split that with my parents. So in the middle of that depression, I became suicidal or whatever, and I was doing, you know, drugs and stuff. And I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. I was doing crystal, I was doing ecstasy, I was smoking a lot of weed. I do music, so I was selling my mixtapes, selling t-shirts, buying storage lockers, you know, trying to maintain doing positive.
So my name is Corey Palka. I am a police captain with the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm assigned here to Hollywood Division. In Hollywood, we have two big problems. We have a homeless problem and we have a traffic problem. And then we have a crime problem. But homelessness is our biggest issue here because in Hollywood, homeless can do well here. I mean, there's people here who are living in the land of hopes and dreams. There's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of people who feel good about themselves, and because of that, they do provide the homeless folks here an extra $1 or $2, a hot meal. There's some very caring people in Hollywood that you may not find in other parts of the city. Homeless are human beings that are part of this community and part of our culture. We as a police department want to embrace and be partners with the agencies responsible to help the homeless and to cure some of the social ills. And that's our role as the police department. I do see a combination of alcohol and drugs, and often we see homeless people who do not wish to take advantage of homeless services, who do not wish for help, who do not wish for overnight lodging. They remain and wish to be on the streets because there's a fuel on the streets of alcohol and narcotics that are not allowed in certain homeless programs. There's a combination of veterans who are homeless, there's a combination of mental illness, there's a combination of people who are jobless, and then there's people who by choice want to be homeless. So we have to understand all these groups exist and then try to offer the appropriate services here in Hollywood to be successful. Hollywood is a blueprint and a model for some successful programs. We have plenty of housing available for homeless, but it takes a lot of work to have someone who wants to commit to clean their life up, to get off the streets, to stay drug-free, and to really get a head start. But if they're willing to do that, I think in Hollywood there's partnerships that are willing to help them. We just try to facilitate First Amendment rights and keep everybody safe, keep them off the street. We have a lot of street issues with cars and pedestrians being hit. So the goal is to allow them to march, to allow them to champion their cause, and for us to be a partner to facilitate that in the best way we can. I know the organizer here. We've been in discussion all week long. I have a good relationship with him. This is not new to us. We do this often. And together, we make it work so they can get their message across, and we can keep everybody safe, those in the protest and those just coming by to enjoy Hollywood.
What do I think about Obama? He's been our president for 8 years. Can I stop it there? He's a politician, you know? But the fact of the matter is, though, it takes a lot of politicians to make these kind of changes. And now we're trying to, as a society, we're trying to hold our politicians accountable. I can't hold President Obama accountable directly, but there are a lot more people than Obama that go into these things. And in this case, it's Garcelli.
The fact that he's the commander-in-chief and we're here right now with these issues, I think that speaks a lot about, what, he didn't do.
Obama, I think he's a good president, He's got a lot of stuff on his shoulder, but
I love him. Obama, I think he did a pretty good job.
I think he's raised his country out of the consciousness of total greed and ignorance, and I think he's opened the consciousness that a man of color can rule and reign and do a positive and good job. But I think that the all-white Democrat and Republican Party that he works with is against his strength of doing the right thing for everyone.
Everyone wants to stick the pin on one, and it actually wasn't just Obama. It took a multitude of people to make a mess.
I think that he's done a great job as the administrator of the executive branch. I think that history will be the judge, and I think history will judge him favorably.
Obama, he's done okay, I guess, in a way, but the best he could after Bush
screwed up. I was gonna say effed up, but I'm being honest.
Donald Trump, yikes! He's a celebrity. He's not he's not someone that's qualified to run our government, in my opinion.
Donald Trump is a reality television star that's trying to be president. Yeah, no. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. I'm not a fan of the manipulation of the American people. You know, there are a lot of frustrated people out there, a lot of them, and the majority of them are following Trump, and they don't know how to think properly for whatever reason, and they think that his answers are the best ones, and it's not. You know, that's not what this country is. This country comes together. We don't isolate. And any message that says that is what's wrong.
I think Donald Trump is interesting. I think he's a person who's part of the political, corrupt, greedy, ultra-white power system that is just here to make more money and to enslave the poor and maybe to further somebody's plan.
Donald Trump? Donald Trump is Donald Trump, you know, he's a milk. Fuck Donald Trump. How about that one? You know what I'm saying? I don't like him like that. I'm gonna do it like that.
He says everything that all of us are scared to say out loud and that all the other politicians are scared to say out loud, honestly.
I think he's going to do a better job. I think he's saying everything that we're thinking.
Trump, that's funny, because he might be, who knows, Donald Trump might be better than Hillary. I don't know. That's a really good question there. And this is in water.
I don't think he's even an attorney, first of all. And most of our presidents, vice presidents, they have a lawyer's background. And I don't feel that he even has that background enough. Now, you can be guided, you can be counseled, but does he really know the law?
Is a go-getter. He's a real estate mogul. And if he was to become president, this is my outlook on that. Donald Trump will raise the taxes so high that you couldn't afford the rent. I just think his thing is about, you know, helping the rich.
Hillary has more depth and definitely more experience.
Hillary Clinton is trying to do what Hillary Clinton wants to do. That's really what it is. She's backed by those people who support her dreams. She has a specific way that she thinks she wants to run this country. She thinks she's above certain kinds of rules, especially when it comes to like Benghazi. You know, don't laugh at the American people and be like, oh yeah, I'm not prosecutable. Every American citizen is prosecutable. You're not above it.
She's soft-spoken, but I think for the most part, she'll try to make a change. You know, even though she has some controversy and mix up with her husband in the office and everything. People may look at that and say, well, Clinton had that little girl or whatever he did. Who's to say she ain't gonna do nothing, you know, other than besides that?
I think that she would bring an interesting perspective, but not for authority and power. I don't think a woman to rule and reign in a country like this would have the significance of respect from China, the Middle East, and different parts of the world where a woman's not respected in that political power. But however, I think that she would be good in another aspect of political authority, but not as a president. Sorry.
People that believe in rape for national security need to go to prison with their husbands and be off our government land so we don't have to fight for people's lives, diseases, and the land, and the economy.
Who do you think is going to be the next president? I'm thinking Hillary's going to be. I'm scared. But the problem is, our kids are the ones that are going to end up paying for it. I'm not going to probably see it.